It's Mrs. Nelson. As part of your activity today, you're going to be measuring ideally the perimeter, but we're just going to measure one side and let Google Sheets calculate that perimeter, because 4 sides together is going to make that perimeter. The perimeter is that distance all the way around a shape. We're going to be measuring the perimeter and the diagonal of each of these. These are all squares. They're squares because they have 90-degree angles. All the side lengths are the same, and I constructed them using a tool that would make them squares. So what you're going to do with this tool is you're going to have your copy of your Google Sheets. Ideally, you'll set these tabs side by side so that you don't have to toggle between tabs to record this information. But for square A, you just click on this measurement tool right here, and then you're going to measure the distance of the diagonal. So you're going to take 2 points on the opposite side of the square going through the center, and you can see that that measures 7 6/10 centimeters. So I'm going to come over here and type 7 6/10 in my diagonal column, column B. And then I'm going to measure a side length as well. So I'm going to click on a vertex and a nearby vertex, a neighboring vertex. It shows me that distance is 5 37/100. 5 37/100. Notice I'm typing this in column D and not in the column right next to that first one, because I've put a formula in this sheet. It's super simple formula. I'm just taking whatever I put in column D and I'm multiplying it by 4. Why? Because we need all 4 sides to be measured for the perimeter, but my tool doesn't make it easy for me to click all the way around the perimeter and get that total, so I only am focusing on one side at a time. So you're going to do that for each of these squares. Of course, you can scroll as needed using your mouse and 2 fingers, but you'll measure each of those and record them. So that diagonal for B is 19 77/100. And one of its side lengths, again, clicking on the vertices, the points, is 13 98/100. So you'll do that for each of the squares in this applet. If it gets cluttered and crowded and you can't tell which one's which, you've got too many letters or too many things on top, you can always push this refresh button. It'll clear everything away. You don't need the measurements to stay on here because you're recording them in this table. But if ever there's too many numbers, too many things, and it's making it hard to process, just clear it out and start over. And then when you measure something else, you have fewer things that are you have to visually track and process and keep track of. So complete that table, and then I'll show you another video of what we're going to do next.